Welcome back in, my friends, to another Reverse 1999 video. Today I wanted to talk about basically getting prepared for the next couple of months and what we should be thinking about when summoning or passing on summons, team creations and stuff like that going forward with the units that we already know has come out on the CN server for global free-to-play people. So this is a PSA or a guide or just insight and wishful thinking to spread this information and give my insight on if I were playing free-to-play, which on my free-to-play account, I am deciding to do this now with the information going forward. So it's truly two paths. And this depends on who you have today as of 1.3 with Kaala Buana out. My first thing is I want to look at the first thing that I do is I look at what characters we have out already. The content that we know that is coming is going to be the raids. I am going to remove my face for a second. Oop, I just made my full face. We're going to remove my face for a second. The content that we have right now, the weekly artificial sample, whatever that shit is called, the UTTTU event, and then our next patch we're getting 1.4, we're getting the raid. So we have this content that right now we can beat it if we have the correct DPS. Even then, we can use a lower tier DPS to most likely beat those if they're built with the right side cube, right resonant, and the right supports or healers around them. So when we look at this, what I look at is going to be the where are we at? So we're going to go by level, and here we are going to go by DPS. Confirm. Okay. So first, we always want to build a team around a DPS. So your thinking is that once you have your DPS secured, then how do I build a team around them? We have Melania, which is a mental DPS. We have Jessica, which is a physical DPS, or what do they call it? Reality DPS and mental DPS. We have Eternity, which is a reality DPS. Kaala, mental DPS. And, oh, my tag for DPS went away. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say 5. 6. And then plus Centurion. I would say 7 or 8 main DPSs that are viable for all content. When it's their Afflatus, they do great in that content with the free-to-play or pay-to-win teams built around them. And, of course, Charlie we have as well for the Star Afflatus. So looking at the DPS, you want to say, okay, how can I build around this DPS? What benefits them the most as for characters? And then a lot of people will pull based on 1 or 2 teams, and they're good to go. This works up until now. It works up until now. When 1.4 comes out, we get a raid. So depending on if they change anything from like the stats, multipliers, passives, or anything of these bosses, we will find out the gauge of where the game is going global once the raid comes out. My idea as a free-to-play player, as long as you have a main DPS, mineral, star, beast, and plant, So as long as you have a main DPS for each of the Afflatus, then you can skip based on content clearing. You can save up. The whole thing is, can we save up enough to guarantee this crazy monster right here? Is my account going to make it all the way till 1.6 to be able to get the strongest unit that has graced this game. That's the goal, right? Everyone's got that goal. Whether you want to or not, it's just smart to get her. And her damage just goes crazy if you get more portrays of her. So it's obviously one of them that you want to kind of try and go for more than once as a free to play, because she will buy the world of reverse 1999, she will carry you through most content. The amount of damage that she's going to be able to do in her higher portrays, I promise you, literally makes the Afflatus insignificant when she's fighting it. So is she a must pull? 100%. Now, do you 100% say for her to try to go all the way? That's the question. You don't have to. By any means, you don't have to. She will 100% be back at some point. It is in the company's best interest to bring this character back at some point. She will not be gone forever. She will for sure be back at some point. Now we look at our account. What DPSs am I missing, if any? If you didn't summon for Kaala Boana, Eternity is a decent DPS. We'll have to see how she does in the raid, especially just a P1, like if you P0, if you didn't get any, bonuses of her. She really starts kind of like popping off around, I would say 4. 4 is kind of her sweet spot. So if you don't have any portrays, she's an AoE damager. So if you're fighting against bosses that, you want to rack up damage, which she can rack up damage. 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 Because of the way that their kit works. So the way that their kit is working allows them to gain buffs from other supports that stack along with the Psi Cube that they're using as well, that goes in tandem with single target damage or single target ults and stuff like that, that allows them to scale their damage to much higher than a lot of the AoE ultimates do, like Jessica, Eternity, Pickles has an AoE ult, so on and so forth. Anna and Lee, most of them have AoE ults. So how do we go about choosing who is correct for our account? Like I said, first thing is the main DPS. Now we look at who is out already. We know we got Pickles. If we drew for him, we have, I don't even have everyone here. I'm tripping. Reset. Okay, here we go. We have support with Tooth Fairy. I'm hoping everyone went for her because she was like one of those must pulls. So Tooth Fairy fits into a lot of teams. Regardless of Afflatus, she fits into a lot of teams. Pickle also fits into a lot of teams because he is an unselfish support. So looking at what is coming up, we have Shaman coming at the end of this next one. Should you pull for him? This depends on your beast DPS. Did you get Melania? If you got Melania already and your goal is to get as high portray as you can on this monster, then you skip him. You save it. 37, star DPS. Do you have a Charlie? Is your Charlie built? Is she good? Is she clearing the content for you that you have already? If she is, you don't need this character. You do not need this character. If you want her, go for her. Great kit. Amazing kit. But is it a necessity to go for 37? Not at all. If you have a Charlie and your Charlie needs to be, let's go ahead and take a look just so we know. Charlie needs to be at least P3. P3 is where you want her. That's all you need to get her. P3 is good enough. You don't need to push her more. She just does more and more damage, but this is enough. So if you have a Charlie, she's P3, you don't need to go through her. P0 37 is better than P2 Charlie. So up to you. That's a choice you need to make if you don't have a star. My star is the weakest team that I have with Charlie right now. I'll probably be I probably will be skipping her for free to play, of course. This is what I'm talking. Do we need another support? Again, Great freaking kit. But is he a necessity? No, he's not a necessity. These characters allow you to maximize big boy numbers, but do they not having them stop you from beating into the content? Not at all. Not at all. Again, and this is let's see, this is 1.3. I'm sorry, 1.4 for global is coming out. He'll be 1.4. Then we have 1.5 right here. Worth it. Again, shield support. Great kit, but if you already have some supports and everything built in, like a Pickles, like a Tooth Fairy, or not Tooth Fairy, I'm sorry, Bighorn Bloom, Tooth Fairy. Who else do we got? Let's go ahead and take a look at the supports. Supports. Boom. Here we go. Pickles, Ann Lee, Sonetto. All three great supports right there. So we're missing a star support, which would be, well, I guess a debuffer. Baby Blue works with the star team, Tooth Fairy, and then Charlie. So yeah, we have a lot of characters already that are filling roles. The main thing is, the only reason I would update this video is if we get the raid and I'm seeing that the free-to-play account that I have is struggling. And I have none of the 6 stars are over P0 that I have on there. I think I have Eternity. I didn't pull for Melania. I got Tooth Fairy. I didn't pull for Jessica. I have like good 250 summons saved up on there. I was waiting for these guys to try this team, Charmaine, and these two right here on my secondary account. So again, another beast DPS. We have Charmaine coming in like a month. We already have Centurion. We already have Melania. So that's 3. Don't need to pull for her. Then we have enough to save for her. And all the math and everything that they've done already, this character is doing at least 85 to 90% more damage than any other character in the game for damage per move. So if you want to put the game into easy mode, if you have the patience, if you have the willpower to not click summon for the next couple of months, I guarantee saving 200 summons, period. That is it. If you could save 200 to when she comes out, you'll guarantee her P1. Because of the way that her summoning system works is it guarantees you a copy of her at 200. And of course we have pity before that. So it's like a step up banner where you get to the 200, you just straight up get a free copy of her. So you're guaranteed 2 copies of her in 200 minimum. If you get lucky, you get more. She's worth it. And I'm going to say this again. This is only if you want a DPS that is going to outshine everyone else in the game and make Afflatus insignificant until we get more content after her, and we have to see then. But right now, everything that comes before her, she will slap it with ease. No problem at all. Summon only on these characters if you're missing a main DPS for that Afflatus. Well, support. If you're missing a main DPS for that Afflatus, then go for these. Also, Kaala Buana, I feel, is pretty much a must-pull character, at least one. You don't have to get her P2 or P1 or P2 or anything like that. I feel like she's worth having it on any account. I went for her and grabbed her on my secondary account. I got lucky. I think I got her in like 40 or 50 summons, but she's definitely worth grabbing. Anyways, guys, if y'all have any questions deeper into anything that I spoke about in this video, please comment down below. If you haven't already, I always answer everything that comes through, or at least I try to. It maybe takes me a couple of hours, but I'll always get back to you. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot, letting me know who is liking the videos and if I need to change anything up. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.